Hello, welcome to Think Big for Africa podcast. This is Ekene, your host. Today, I have a good friend, one of my closest friend. He has been my friend for 35, no, 36, no, 38 years. That's it. I met this gentleman in 1983. Yes. Ooh. Okay. He has been my very, very good friend since then. So he's coming on board to my podcast for the first time since I started. He's a consultant. He's an e-commerce consultant. He's an entrepreneur doing some interesting things in Africa. And that's one of the things we'll talk about today. His name is Yomi Oresanwo. Yomi, how far?
Thanks, Ekene. That was a rousing. That was a rousing introduction.
Yes.
I
Yes.
It's been good.
So
Yeah.
So you introduce yourself a little bit better than I did. Me, I just introduce you like my guy. So you can tell my audience one of the things you do. I know your work, but you tell my friends, my audience, what you do.
Okay. All right. I don't do a lot of complicated things. I think that's one of the things that I've always shied away from. Ever since I love simplicity. So everything that I've done has always been along the lines of either try to simplify things or just being, living a very simple life. So professionally, as you say, I'm a digital consultant. I've spent quite a lot of time within the digital space, building large enterprise scale networks, e-commerce platforms, which have now evolved into more digital systems that you can use to high volume transactions.
Yeah.
Make a lot of money for very large European.
A little bit. Your audio is not coming through very well. Just
let me adjust my microphone. Bring it a bit closer. How is that now? Is that a little bit better?
Yeah, a little bit better. Yes.
Okay. All right. So I've done a lot of work in the digital space, and I still continue to do so. I enjoy doing so. But apart from that, over the last few years, I've developed a passion for focusing on Africa and trying to solve Africa solutions.
Yeah.
So I'm sort of solving Africa problems, with Africa-centric solutions. So as a result of that, I've embarked upon quite a number of initiatives within Africa, particularly around agriculture. And I also do financing and project financing and capital raising for projects on the continent, helping businesses match with financial institutions who can help them finance those businesses.
Interesting.
And apart from that, I dabble into anything that is new tech, anything that brings
yes. And you have been trying to drag me into it.
Well, some of those we'll be going into over the course of the conversation today.
Yeah. Good. Now, you just mentioned the kind of work you do across Africa. Now, interestingly, we have talked about this a lot for a few years now, and you are there doing it and always traveling back and forth. I haven't been able to join you. I was envious when you guys called me from Durban last month.
Mhm.
I said, oh my God, these guys did this. Well, it's done. It's done. Don't worry. Next time, I'll be there.
Absolutely,
You know.
because we actually had a conversation that same morning, and we have some plans for you and Think Big for Africa
Good.
for the
Good.
next one. So
Yeah.
definitely, I think you've
Yeah.
already said it. So
So
we'll just put it on we'll rubber stamp it now, and then we'll work towards it.
okay. So tell my audience a little bit more about those things you do across Africa. Maybe get a little bit deeper into them. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So the stuff that I do on the continent. Okay, I'll just give you a little bit of background into how I got into that. I think you and I initially
good.
We had a conversation in the early days, just when this was about to begin.
Yeah.
And I think for me, I always feel that the best way to learn things is through immersion. So just jump in, right? You can't sit on the sidelines and try to effect things.
Yeah.
Jump in, and then you start to absorb and start to assimilate and start to understand, and then things will start to happen. So I went for an African event, which is called Intra-Africa Trade Fair by Afrexim Bank. And that opened my eyes to so many things that I never knew about Africa. If you really want to know how Africa works, get involved in trade. I think Africans are traders. Virtually everybody on the continent is a trader.
That's what we do. That's what we do.
Exactly, whether small scale, medium scale, or large scale, right? So if you find yourself in the middle of trade, then you're basically in the middle of Africa.
Yeah.
So that opened my eyes to a lot of things and the potentials and opportunities and challenges. And so pretty much you can touch everybody's lives.
Yeah.
Women, men,
children, everybody. Yeah.
Trade, exactly. And then you also start to understand how education plays a big part in how we do business, how we do trade, and how we do all of that. And the lack of the education and all of that, and how you can bring value to those places. So I then started to identify opportunities that I felt that I could take advantage of, or at least I could begin to participate in or add value to. And then at the same time, I came back to London, and then I met a couple of my friends who were trying to start up a project, an agricultural manufacturing and processing project.
Yeah, those guys we met. So okay,
And then they were looking to raise money, and then I said, okay, right, this is something that I can definitely help with. And then we started to work together, and we've been on that project now for like 2.5 years.
Yeah.
We're just in the middle of trying to complete the round of fundraising for it. Hopefully by Q1 this year, we should be done.
Good.
And then we'll proceed to commencing that project in Ghana. And then that project has also led to other projects as well, which took me on a trip to Malawi, met the president of Malawi and people in the government, proposed the same project to them. They really wanted us to come over there to do the same thing. And then that was all pre-pandemic. So and then the pandemic kind of came in and slowed everything down. So there's still quite a lot of things that are in the pipeline.
Yeah.
If we can just get through this COVID pandemic, and then things can go back to normal, then we can then start to build traction again and start to execute.
Yeah.
But there's quite a number of things that are definitely there to do.
Yeah, see, like we've talked about Africa. See, yes, we are behind in so many ways, but for me, I see that as huge opportunities for Africans. I mean, yes, trying to catch up, that means there's a lot of work for us all to do. So for me, when we say the employment numbers in Africa is down. I said, no, that means we are not thinking, because there are so many things we need to do. So see, if we start projects, even projects that will enable us to catch up 20%, will definitely have employment for more than 40-50% of our youths today. So there's so many things for us to do. And I'm happy people like you are going to Africa and doing things. And I want more and more people abroad. You see, yes, we here, we have learned a few little things, but we need to go back there to sit down with the people at home to understand exactly what we can add value to. You know, it's very important. I also know for a fact you had some things you actually wanted to do. I don't know if you are still on it around e-commerce, you know, but I understand some of the challenges, you know. So what are the biggest challenges in that space in e-commerce in Africa?
Okay, great. That's a very good question. So I have a company that I started about 5 years ago.
Is it 5? Just 5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
5-6 years ago. Mombase.com.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, you'll probably know the backstory to Mombase.com.
Yeah.
I founded it when I had my first daughter.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's early, and we struggled to get her things. And then I said, okay, well, and at the time I'd already started working in e-commerce for one of the largest retail companies in the UK. So to cut the long story short, I founded Mombase.com, developed the platform, and then launched the website here in the UK. And then about, I think 6 months after that, launched the Nigeria version of the website.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea was that we wanted to make the same goods that everybody would be able to purchase here or in the US or any other parts of Europe available to Nigerian customers within Nigeria, who typically traditionally would fly over to the UK to buy those things and then travel back to Nigeria.
Yeah.
Able to access the same products, but in the local currency.
Yeah.
So Mombase.com was actually the very first multi-country, multi-currency website that would accept Naira as a payment currency.
Yeah.
For those goods. And you could purchase them and have
in Nigeria.
Yes, without having to go anywhere. So we were actually the first to do that. Because a lot of people will shy away from collecting payments in Naira because of all the challenges that come with that. You know, you take the Naira and then you have to convert it back into either US
dollars or pounds. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then if there's movement, you know,
you lose all. Yeah. That's.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of people would not want to do that. So I started that. So that's been going on for quite some time. But like you said, not without challenges. The UK side of it is a little bit more stable, but the Nigeria part of it has been a little bit topsy-turvy, very turbulent. You mentioned about what the challenges have been to e-commerce on the continent. So I remember the time that we were going into the Nigeria market, there was a lot of optimism around e-commerce and the emergence of e-commerce on the continent. There was a lot of projections about, you know, e-commerce, you know, going parabolic, and, you know, basically the growth potential and everything that is there. So yeah, I mean, those potentials continue to be there. Yeah. However, the main challenge with e-commerce on the continent is that it's primarily linked to the lack of infrastructure. Okay. So all of the things that you need to operationalize the ordering of goods and the delivery of those goods to
the supply chain.
Exactly. The supply chain, as you would describe it. All of those things are still very, very, they're not mature.
Yeah.
And they're very fragmented. Okay.
Yes.
And then there is also the other local sort of behaviors that you have to take into account. So for everything that, that you want, that people want to have, there is always either a substitute that is very close to them. So that brings a lot of convenience. Now, whether that substitute is the actual, gives them the same value or not, sometimes you get decisions being made either based on the price points, based on, convenience, or just, the lack of willingness to to do proper research to then find what you want. So there's a lot of that. And then also, I think over the last 5-6 years as well, we have seen the African middle class continue. There was this middle class that that grew
expansion,
before that period, and then in the last sort of 5 years, we've seen that middle class get smaller and smaller,
shrunk,
they're just shrinking, and they're having less disposable income. As a matter of fact, you could almost say that middle class has remained the same middle claess since then.
The population grew, but the middle class never grew.
The middle class never
inflation reduced that.
And then everybody that has targeted Africa with products and services have effectively targeted that middle class. So that's the middle class have been targeted with telecoms, with video, cable TV, DSTV. They've been targeted with vehicles. They've been targeted with food. So they've been stretched.
Disposing income didn't grow, and
so pretty much
inflation, boom.
Exactly. So you now find out that the spending power is diminishing. So the needs of that middle class effectively will then evolve. It will change. It would move away from being aspirational to being more cautious, and they would want to spend their money more on things that they absolutely need, like education, health, clothing, food, and that's as far as it goes. But they still have the odd parties here and there, just to
now. Having said that, how has, not about the product themselves, how has the behavior of buying things online improved? Has it improved? Because my experience is that, well, my target audience was a little bit below yours, but my experience with them is that they are very skeptical to buy anything on the internet. They are very skeptical of buying anything. I mean, everything I buy, apart from food, everything I buy in my house, I just order it on the internet. Everything I buy is on the internet. And a lot of people do that in the Western world. You see, we need to get our people to be more willing, to do this. So how what's your own experience with that?
So that's a very good point also. I think initially there was the trust element where people they weren't really sure if what they were purchasing online is the same thing that would turn up when it comes
in
to
the house.
Door.
Right?
Yes. And then there is also the issue of, okay, now if I'm not happy with what I have bought.
Yes. How do I? Okay.
How do I,
send it back?
Remuneration or whatever. So there was that. And then also the Nigeria had just moved, particularly, and you always have to use Nigeria as a benchmark when you're talking about that. Nigeria had just moved from being a cash-based economy to, so things like card payments had only just been introduced. So it was still very new, and there was a lot of, fraud being perpetrated over the internet if you were a card payer. So Nigerians are very, very
reluctant.
Oh yeah, they don't. Even when they make online transactions, they make very little card payments. Okay, they would prefer to do a bank transfer, for example, over the card payment.
No.
Okay, because a lot of things could go wrong with the card payment. At the point that you press pay, the network, the internet could easily fluctuate.
Yeah, so that's a basic infrastructure issue. Yeah,
exactly. And then you don't know if the payment has gone through or not. You try it again, and then you try it again, and you try it like 2 times or 3 times you've tried it.
Yeah, it went through.
All the money in the account is gone, and there's no way of getting it back. So there's a lot of that. So Nigerians are very, they will say, okay, right, I will transfer the money.
Yes.
To you. When you get the alert, then let me know. Right? Having said that, the online shopping behavior is increasing.
Okay.
So the volume of online transactions is increasing, but you will now see that majority of Nigerians do more shopping on Instagram and Facebook and even Twitter than they would, because you and I could list a product on Instagram or on Twitter. And then somebody will say, okay, I really like this. How can I get it? Here's my bank account. If you put some money in there, I'll send it to you via dispatch rider.
Wow.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, if you go to Lagos now, you are more likely to get run over by a dispatch rider than
really.
Oh yeah, I mean, these guys are like daredevils. They're all over the place. So in fact, there's hundreds and thousands of them all over the Lagos roads now.
Wow.
Just whizzing across the city, trying to go deliver either lace or something that the tailor has made, for a client, or food. They do a lot of food delivery now.
Really? So, in Nigeria?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Wow.
But you find a lot of this in the inner cities.
Yeah. Okay.
In the inner cities. And then obviously, I think about a couple of years ago as well, probably maybe just before COVID, or around the time that COVID emerged, the Lagos state government banned those you call
Okada.
From certain parts of the city. From being able to ply their trade in certain parts of the city. So those guys have now just basically evolved into dispatch riders, and then they take up that business, and because they have the bike anyway.
Yeah.
So why not just use it? And then you have other startups that have come into the space.
Wow. Interesting.
So it's an evolving situation, but I think over time we'll continue to earn that trust. People's behavior begin to change, more along the lines of having that confidence to, make online purchases, and then maybe then they can now start to spend big online. But right now they will basically spend little.
Well, again, this is the part of commerce that's going to be, when it grows, as it grows, a lot of jobs will come out. A lot of wealth will arise across entrepreneurs in Africa. Yes, we have our problems, but all these things make me happy when I see them, when I see the potentials. But the thing is that how long are we going to wait for those potential? We have been talking about potential. I
I
see
think
here.
you made a very good point earlier, about all of this and how when you look at the job numbers, you wonder why the job numbers are so low when there's so much to do, right?
Yeah.
So you can look at Africa like a very big mansion that is dirty and untidy, there are things everywhere. But the people that live in the mansion every day when they sleep and they wake up, they don't do anything.
Yeah,
They
you just go.
just sit there. And then you say, so what's going on? You say, well, we've got nothing to do. So we're just waiting. But you're like, oh, look at this place. This place needs help, right? You guys can start with, right?
Yeah.
So it's almost like that. There is something to do in every neighborhood, in every home, in every locality, in every school, in every job that people just need to pick up to do. However, the interests of the people lie elsewhere.
Yeah. You see, I will tell you a story. My barber in London, I went to him just pre-COVID, just talking about helping his cousin back home. And he was lamenting because prior to that, some months before, I presented something. He told me about his cousin, and I presented something to him. I said, he asked him what his cousin is doing. Nothing. Okay. He says he's looking for a business to fund so that he can start. So I presented to him that there are cars. Your cousin can just get a bucket, call two of his friends, and they can start car washing. Yeah, they will get a cash in hand. They wash the car, and if they do it well, in a few months, they will have constant customers. And he said, "Oh my God! In fact, there's a motor park close by to his house. I will tell him, I will fund a few hundreds of pounds, let him start." He said he presented that to his cousin. The boy told him, "No way." Now, that young man is not doing anything. He wants money from his big cousin, but he doesn't want to do anything.
Menial job.
Yeah, he doesn't want anything menial. Yeah. See, that is the problem with us. There are jobs to do everywhere. But every one of us want office jobs.
Yeah, and you see, this is a very big issue. This is a very big point that we're talking about now, and sometimes we gloss over it a lot, but it's something that is actually quite a big issue that has been holding us back for a very long time. Okay, I think that if you go to Nigeria, you will see a lot of wasted opportunity.
Yeah.
There's opportunity everywhere, right? There's so many opportunities, but
there are issues on ground, but there are opportunities everywhere.
Yeah, but the reason why there are issues on ground is because a lot of opportunities are being neglected.
Yeah, that's it.
Every time for every opportunity you neglect, or for everything that is left unfixed, everything adds to
another. That's it.
It leads to disjointed processes. It leads to disjointed development. It leads to unconnected progress.
Yeah.
Everything is just being done in big part because people pick and choose, right? Everybody wants to participate either in the
tech,
either in tech or in banking or in telecoms or in transport or in whatever is perceived to be what is making money, right? Or maybe all of them want to go to the market, right? However, who is developing the society, who is developing the neighborhoods, who is developing, people, who is developing. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Who is creating who is creating that value that nobody actually sees?
Yeah.
Right. So everybody wants to be visible. Everybody wants to be doing something. Everybody wants to be, maybe like a religious leader or a religious warrior. So you have a lot of that. So I'll give you an example. Every time I go to Lagos, right, and I generally tend to mix within the city. I try to, I try to tap into the consciousness of the city. So I take Ubers, I take all those, ride hailing, I call them from one place to the other. And a lot of times, and I make a point of this, and I have quite a number of people that I've met that are Uber drivers that, So when you ask them one or two questions, then you get them talking, right? And then they start to, and some of them, they start asking questions like, say, bros, please, in fact, you sound like you're a very intelligent, very knowledgeable person. I have a question. This is my car now. I've been driving it for 2 years now. The car don't be old. So I'm now thinking, okay, should I buy another one to replace this one before this one begins to give me too many problems? And if I want to buy another one, should I buy the new model or should I buy this same one, but a new one and be using that one? Because I don't want to buy another car will be saying it will cost me money or I will spend money to maintain them and things like that and this and that. So these are big, because they're in a business now that they have to start like a business person.
Exactly.
Right? So you now have to start teaching them how to, okay, right. So you ask them basic questions like, okay, right. So how much do you make in a month from this business?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. How much of that is profit?
Yes.
How much of that goes into fuel, maintenance, other things? Do you know that? They will say, I said, okay, right. So the first thing you need to go and do, right, is you need to write all of this down. How much do I make in a month? How much do I spend on this car? Every month, how much do I spend on this car? How much do I spend on fuel?
Yeah.
Then you will see how much money you have that is profit. Then you will now know whether over 2 years this car
will make up the cost of the car.
You understand?
Yeah.
So you can also say, okay, right, if this car can produce this, if I can reduce the expenses, so if I buy a newer one and reduce the amount of the overhead, the money that I spend on mechanic, all those servicing, all those tires, all those things, if I reduce that, then my profit margin is bigger, right?
Yeah.
And so I said, so your decision is not a decision of which one should, it's a decision that it should be the numbers that should guide you.
Yeah.
You should look at the numbers now and say, okay, right, if I get the other one, this goes down, this goes up. Okay, that's a decision that's a very simple decision.
Yeah.
So and they just be like, God, man, as you explain this thing now, in fact, that's exactly what I'm going to go and do. I said, try and do it, child. Don't get distracted. Try and do it.
Yeah. See,
so you find out that the education side of things is also missing.
Yeah.
Okay. So everybody starts something and then they get to a point where they now need proper advice. So where can these guys go for this kind of advice?
Yep.
Perhaps maybe if there's a radio channel, because a lot of them listen to radio.
Yeah.
And of course, if you're in Lagos and you're listening to radio, you're either listening to Soul City and you're just hearing, DVD and but if there was a channel that somebody is reaching out that maybe at a particular time of day, there's business hour.
I understand. I understand you very well.
Basic bookkeeping, ledgers, profit and loss, all those kind of things. And you are actually, I'm telling you, you will be surprised how somebody will go from being an Uber driver to a millionaire just because he has been
somebody taught him how to do all those things.
Because I tell you, some of those guys are so serious. It's unbelievable. People think that Nigerians are not serious people or they're not honest working people or hardworking. It's a lie. Some of those guys are so disciplined and so serious. It's unbelievable.
That's
honestly
good.
I'm not even joking.
So see, what you just said it's a gap I saw a long time ago. And one of the things I was planning to do is to have online courses. And one of the ones I thought most important was a basic bookkeeping for everyday trader. Okay. Now, unfortunately, I've had issue to get an accountant to write the curriculum. I'm telling you, see, to get an accountant in Nigeria to help me write a curriculum and the course work has been very difficult. Unfortunate. I just don't know. Well, maybe because I wanted to hand it over to people I know. Okay. And they haven't delivered the work. See, that I told you that's one of the things I wanted my customers in Africa to log into the website to do things. Okay. I started a coaching business for them to log in, and for the program, see, many people signed up, but they don't even go on to log in for the courses they are paid for. See, and for me, I actually want them to log in and follow the course, because it's not useful to me if they don't do the course, you know. And I thought,
I mean, there's a lot of you have to be in and amongst them to understand why they are the way they are. You know, there are things that are happening to them minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day. So it's very easy for them to get, sidetracked or distracted. So, it's a very fluid.
I thought maybe what they actually want is a face-to-face teaching, face-to-face teaching. But we need to
Nigerians and a lot of Africans are what you can call an on-the-go type of people. They consume anything that they cannot consume on the go.
Yeah,
it's an inconvenience, because the whole idea of repeatability and coming, routine is not something that they do. Most people don't even get home. Most people don't even get home to work at the same time every day.
Yeah.
They get home at different times of the day. And it's not because they didn't leave work at the same time.
Traffic, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
You understand? Things will happen on the road. So it's very, very, so they are what you call an on-the-go type of people. And if you really want to get them in traffic.
on the radio. Interesting.
That is the only place that they have no choice.
They will be there.
They have to be there. They don't even fly. So they have to be there. When they are in traffic, they have no choice. So when you are in rush hour traffic in Nigeria, the radio is always...
In Lagos in particular, yeah.
Exactly, in Lagos. The radio is always buzzing, because they know then that, in fact, you will see a lot of programs that are like, targeted.
Steady.
Oh, yeah. So, exactly. And then that's when a lot of people browse the internet as well.
Yeah.
They wind up things they do on Instagram. They'll be watching all these meme videos.
Yeah.
All these jokes, all these, things that just take the minds off things.
Yeah.
So if you can target them around that time, then you're good. And then also, the guys that are hawking in the middle of the streets are also there. So it's also big business for those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. So also, showing them buy groundnuts.
Wow. It's interesting. So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
see this one, blockchain, cryptocurrency, you
Right.
know. Ooh. See, like I told you now, 2010, while I was working in the city, my colleague, an Indian guy, he was invited to a workshop. So he just told me, because we sit next to each other. He told me, oh, yeah, he was invited to this workshop, blah, blah, blah. I should come and follow him to the workshop. Okay, I decided, okay, let's go. Went there, we listened to the presentation. Very, very excited young man, all that. It was nice. It was about Bitcoin, but I didn't pay too much attention about the currency. I was all about the tech, blockchain. I saw the potential, especially because I worked in trade finance in Citigroup. So I saw the potential that these guys can trade LCs can be done on blockchain. Both buyer and seller do not need the bank, and they will save at least 15%. That was huge. Wow. So that was what I was looking at. At the end of the workshop, were encouraged to invest. Back then, I could have invested 10,000 pounds. My colleague invested. I didn't. Today, I'm sure if he invested 10,000 pounds, he must be a millionaire. Now,
if he held on,
yeah, if he held on, okay. Now he could easily have held on, because the money you just put, when you invest in something like that, just put it there, close your eyes, forget it. I don't know what happened. The guy has gone back to India. He's a big shot in a company in India.
Okay.
Now today, the currency is still fluctuating. Okay, in terms of investments. Okay, I'm still a little bit skeptical about the usability as a everyday currency per se. Okay, but I see that all the various platforms, blockchain platforms, have interesting things they are doing. Okay, like we've talked about it several times. I haven't been too interested, in it, but you are. Okay, that's why I'm asking you. So you have been involved. So take it away. Tell my audience something that might interest them to even explore the tech and the currencies.
Okay. All right. So the blockchain as a technology, right, is probably not so interesting.
Okay. Except you are interested in technology. Yeah. Okay.
You understand? Because people generally don't really care about how banks facilitate the transaction.
I am, because I was a banker. Okay.
Exactly. So you're a bank, so you will want to know, because you need to identify risks and mitigate. People just want to know that they want to do something. They want to do it in a safe way, in a way that will be fast
Mhm.
in order for them to be able to do what they want to do. And, they want to be able to get what they want to get.
Yeah.
Without being compromised, scammed, if you like. Now, the reason why I say that the technology is not so interesting is because the cryptocurrency side of it is generating so much interest.
Okay.
It's also generating so much controversy.
Okay. Yeah.
Particularly over the last couple of years,
Mhm.
right? So we're now at a point where, okay, let me step back a little bit. So cryptocurrency, as we know it today, right, is what you call digital money.
Yeah. Okay.
Digital currency. Okay. Now, we are at the end of the third industrial revolution.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
The fourth industrial revolution is taking off.
Yeah.
Now, at the same time, we have 5G technology
Coming on board.
coming in as well to complement that.
Yeah.
So you can already see a lot of new tech, AI, autonomous vehicles, electric vehicles, all these things, right? Now, the one other thing that is also happening at the same time is what we call Web 3.0.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now, we've been on Web 2.0 now for the better part of 15, maybe
15 years plus. Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So now we're going into Web 3.0, right? And all of these things are layering on top of each other. If you think about it, there's the fourth industrial revolution. We're now going to go into the information age. We're going to go into digital economy. We're going to go into this. We're going to go into that. Everything is going to become digitalized. So it is only logical that money, as we've known it for the past how many decades?
Centuries.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is obviously now going to become also
digital. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's not only money that is also going to be digitalized. You are also going to see the digitalization of assets.
Yeah.
Okay. So things like shares, stocks.
Yeah.
Become digital stocks. Digital shares.
Yeah. So you don't need paper documents.
Nobody needs it anymore.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Everything is going to become digital. Everything is going to be transacted digitally. Everything is going to be signed digitally.
Yeah.
Everything is going to be sent and received digitally. Right?
Yeah.
So you can say that what we have today, the cryptocurrencies that we have today, based on the blockchain technology, is going to facilitate the digitalization of all of those things that I've just talked about. So some of those digital assets will be currencies. Some of them will be stocks or shares.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah? And then some of them will just be like things that you use to store value. Yeah. Like gold. Okay, because gold is something that has always been one of the top 2-3 destinations for stored value.
I would still say about the first one.
Yeah, top 2 or 3. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I didn't want to say one. I didn't want to be controversial, right? But I think if we said one, very few people would disagree.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So, but you are now seeing a situation where Bitcoin, because of its rise to prominence and because of its value, one Bitcoin today is about $45,000 as of today's price for one Bitcoin, right? So if you look at that price, it is impractical for an average person to now have a Bitcoin. Yeah. Unless you're a rich person. Yeah. Right? So what you're now seeing is that investors will now start to store value in Bitcoin. So we have already seen a situation where institutional investors are now divesting. So they're now saying, okay, split my gold into 2. I want to hold half of it in gold and half of it in Bitcoin. That is not happening, right? So Bitcoin will now go up. Bitcoin will push up to that level, and then there are governments that are buying Bitcoin. So there are certain countries that their governments are holding Bitcoin. So they hold maybe 1,000 Bitcoin, 100 Bitcoin, 500 Bitcoin. It has gotten to that level.
Yeah.
Right. But there are so many other cryptocurrencies that are bringing in different, that are done for different projects and different things. Now, why are those cryptocurrencies coming up? Practically every crypto currency represents a project. That project is being done to solve a problem. Okay. Now, the means of raising money into cryptocurrency projects is for people to crowdfund the money. Okay. Right. So these guys will come into the market and raise money directly from people. And how can they do that? They create what you call tokens, coins, digital coins. And then they tell you, we have a trillion of these coins. You can buy each one of these coins for maybe $0.000001. And then you put in $200, I put in $200. We get maybe 1 million tokens each. And then we wait. Right? We wait. That by the time they sell the whole thing, or they sell 75% of those tokens, they will now start to do some economics that will begin to increase the value of the tokens that we hold. So one day, maybe after like 6, 7 months, 8 months, 9 months, 1 year, those zeros will start to reduce and will start coming towards the decimal. Yeah. So as the zeros are coming towards the decimal, our value is increasing. Yeah. We're holding. So you can imagine if we then get to $1, then you and I are sitting on $1 million. Yeah. Because we hold 1 million of those tokens. Yes. See, right? See. So it's all economics. Right? Yes. Exactly. But where all of this is going, right, is two things: digitalization and decentralization. Yep. Okay. So that decentralization, what you talked about earlier about raising an LC, buyer and seller can just do the transaction over the blockchain without any middleman. Yeah. That is decentralization. Yeah. So there's something now, the biggest thing in cryptocurrency or in blockchain now is decentralized financing, DeFi. Yeah. Right. And this is essentially what it is. So everybody that is holding digital currencies now is holding it in their wallet. Yeah. So those tokens that I explained to you about just now, you will hold it in your wallet, I will hold it in my wallet. You could hold Bitcoin, I could hold Ethereum. If you want to sell something to me, I can pay to you in my Ethereum. Yeah. And the same thing, you could pay me in your Bitcoin. See, man, maybe I'm not. You're older than me. Eh? I'm thinking. Anyway. See, this is interesting. I'll just quickly capture. For Africans, it is the best situation to be in. Because one of the major challenges that Africa faces is access to market. Yep. The superpowers know that whatever products you have, you need access to market to sell it. Yeah. If they can restrict access to market, they control you. That's one of the things I love about the blockchain. Okay. Precisely. Yeah. So crypto decentralizes this power. Yeah. So everybody can just come into an exchange and exchange things, and everybody go. Yeah. There's no middleman. There's nobody saying, okay, you give me, I will hold, and then I'll do the exchange and charge both of you. No. Everybody comes on the exchange, they do the transactions, boom. I'll give you an example. There's a developer I use in Nigeria. he did a job for me on mombase.com. He did some development work, and I was going to pay him maybe $200 for the work. Cue that his work that he did for me was an equivalent of $200.
Yeah.
So I was paying him $200, right? But he's in Nigeria, he spends Naira, right? So I said to him, I said, okay, right, do you have a crypto wallet? He goes, yeah, I have something. I said, okay, right, turn it on, send it to me. He sends it to me. I go into my digital wallet. I pull out I got one of my tokens. I convert it into I convert into $200 USDT worth of tokens, and I sent it to him into his digital wallet. When he got it, he said, "Yeah, I've got it now. What do I do?" I said, "Okay, go on Binance, go to P2P. You'll see a lot of Nigerians that want to buy USDT. They will tell you how much they're willing to pay. Choose the price that pays you, and exchange that USDT for Naira." The guy called me back 2 hours. He said, "Bros, I don't do it. I even got more money than what you gave me, Seth. Thanks, bro. Just send me the thing." And we did all of this within a few hours.
Yeah.
No central bank, no commercial bank.
Yeah.
It's just between a number of people, me, him, and the guy that converted the money to Naira. Done.
Yeah.
So you can imagine if this was happening every day for everyone.
Yeah.
And this is going to be the future going forward.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, I guess when I can buy my my malts with digital currency, I would finally start learning about it. Even the wallet you opened for me. Well, I've not been there.
You will. That one is even, you can do that today. There are actually even there are ATMs that you can actually go to.
Yeah,
and you withdraw cash.
Near John's office, where I go. Yeah, there's a cryptocurrency ATM next door to him. So it has been there for years now.
There are cards. There are cards now that you can spend. You can transfer your token in there.
In fact,
just take the card and
that office has been boggled twice.
They're looking for the Bitcoin.
No, they carry once they carry the whole machine.
I think the Bitcoin is inside. They want to take the cash, right? I get it. Yeah. So
interesting.
Very interesting. Very interesting. The use case for cryptocurrency has been proven. It's been well and truly proven.
I know that. See, now for me, what I don't want to do is that, see, when I have something I don't understand, I just ask for the best people who know. See, I've watched so many videos of this guy explaining, and I can follow the logic. I can understand what they're saying, but I just can't see the use for me.
The practicality.
I can't see the practicality of it for me at this time. So
So the one other thing I'll just say, just to sort of underscore it, is that right now at this point in time, right? And this is quoting the CEO of Binance, which is the largest crypto exchange in the world. He used to work for Bloomberg, by the way. He said, right now, there are approximately 400 million people in the world that are participating in crypto.
Yeah.
Okay. That figure represents around maybe 5% global population.
Yeah.
Right? 5% global population. And the market cap for crypto at that time that he said that was $3 trillion.
Wow.
So you can imagine the upside to crypto. You can imagine when we get to 10% global population, which is just going to be 1 billion people, which is just going to be a seventh of global population.
Yeah.
A population that is rising anyway.
Yeah.
Right? So you can imagine the upside when that figure doubles. What's going to be the market cap then? So this is what, so you really have to look at this now and say, wow, this is the gold rush this is the California gold rush.
Yeah.
If you were there at that time, would you jump on the train to go to California?
Oh boy, many people that went there didn't
come back.
Many didn't come back. And many didn't
find
one.
But luckily for us, we don't have to take those dangerous journeys.
Yeah,
all we have to do is just sit behind the computer and get involved.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
With very little stake as well.
Yeah.
Just take a slice and take it from there.
This is the reason why I wanted you to talk about it, because I tell the young guys I talk to, always explore things. See, anything you don't understand, don't run away from it. Okay? Find somebody who understands it and ask them to explain it to you. If you still don't understand it, don't run away from it. Find somebody else. See, because this, for me, this is my issue with us. We are not curious. We don't like to explore things. And I think that this is a big thing about us. We need to explore things. So it doesn't matter. I still have my issues, but cryptocurrency is on the way. Yeah. So I encourage everybody to look at it. You know,
there's no doubt about it. It's going to become part of everybody's lives.
Yeah.
I think this year is going to be,
and the better you start looking at it, the better for you. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just about taking control of one's life. Yeah. I think you and I have been extremely fortunate, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
You know, sometimes I feel like we are. If you remember that movie, the Highlander, you know, that guy that just lives forever and ever and ever.
Nah, I didn't watch it.
Christopher Lambert. Oh, there's quite a number of it. So, so effectively, if you look at us, we have been so fortunate. Some of us learned to read and write with a slate.
Yeah.
We wrote with the exercise book. You know, we used Blackboard.
Yeah.
And then we then became the same people. Okay, we used analog phones. Then we then became the same people that used mobile phones. And then we became the same people that used.
We have progressed through time.
We just keep, you know, it's like there's just something that just keeps giving us something to do. You know, so there's always something to live for. You can reinvent yourself. Today you can reinvent yourself.
Hey, I am doing that.
Exactly.
You know,
understand?
Yeah.
So and that's an opportunity for everybody.
Yeah.
Right. And again, I will go back to that statement that you made earlier about Africans having so much to do, but they're not doing anything.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, every African has an opportunity to work till their dying day because there's just so much to do.
Oh yeah.
Africans should not even be thinking about retirement because retirement is for people who have nothing else to do.
Exactly. And we have things to do all the time.
We have lots of things to do. You can leave 9 to 5 and go and start a business.
Yeah.
You can leave that business and say, okay, you know, after this business, what I'm now going to do is
I want to do something else.
I'm not going to start trading digitally. Or I'm now going to, you know, there's just so much to do. We just keep reinventing ourselves and there's always so much to do. And this is what makes life enjoyable. It makes you feel young all the time.
Yeah.
It makes you feel relevant. It makes you feel wanted. Look, when I was coming back from Dubai a few weeks ago, you see this card I'm holding in my hand?
Yeah.
It's one guy gave it to me. His name is Grandpa Crypto.
Ooh.
This man is an old guy. He's in his 60s going on 70. This guy is heavily involved in crypto. Wow. He makes an income of about $20,000 every month from crypto. Wow. This is a guy who should be well into retirement in a home somewhere, waiting for, you know, for his family to come and be visiting him. But instead, he's jetting around the world, going to Dubai, going to other US, going everywhere, attending cryptocurrency events,
Seminars, yes.
Building communities, evangelizing for crypto, making money, living life. This man did not sleep for 1 minute on that flight. He was just too excited.
Yeah. I can imagine it.
So you can imagine how cool he's going to look when he's talking to his grandkids and he's talking to his grandkids about crypto. Those grandkids will just be looking at him like, this is our grandpa. Is he an alien? This guy just talking about futuristic things that even we have not even gotten into.
Yeah.
And grandpa is doing it. And that is the kind of opportunity that Africans, you know what I would love, Ekene? I was thinking about this yesterday. If somebody could deliver cryptocurrency education to Nigerians in Yoruba and Hausa, just sit down, just have a channel and just be saying, Google Play, download MetaMask, configure MetaMask, password, download the link.
See, this is
do you know, Ekene, do you know the amount of people you will convert?
Yeah.
Because the biggest part of cryptocurrency is the education side. Because it is the education side that brings people into it. And when it is the adoption, when the rate of adoption keeps going up, that's when we will continue to move that needle from that 5% to 10% to 15%. And as we're doing all of that, we are building incredible wealth for everyone.
That's true. That's true. But see, this...
And we're also reducing scam.
Okay.
Because it is when there is no education, that is when people easily get scammed.
Yes, I agree.
Because they don't know, and the people that know want to take maximum advantage.
Yes, I agree. But the issue about language is a different matter. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We'll further down the road.
Yes. It's been a very interesting time. So let's close this. In your mind, okay? So I want you to just maybe close your eyes and just imagine that Africa you envision in 20, 30 years' time. That Africa, what do you wish it will be?
That's a good one. I think about that all the time.
Me too.
Particularly when I've traveled and I've come back. So I always go back to that movie, Black Panther, right?
Okay.
You can imagine the impact that movie had on Africans.
Yeah.
Right? And this is just fantasy. This is this is fantasy that was created by Stan Lee.
Yeah.
And maybe some of his writers, right? They created a fantasy Africa called Wakanda that Africans now really love. That, Africa could actually be high-tech, could have everything, could have, resources that could change the world. But guess what? We actually have all of those things.
Okay.
Right now, the whole world is descending on Congo to get cobalt.
Oh, yeah.
There's cobalt there, there's lithium there, there's iron there, right? The largest deposit of cobalt is in Congo. If you go and order a car now, there's a delay in supply because of the supply of cobalt, right? And semiconductors.
Yeah.
Because of all these chips, right? So Africa has that vibranium. We have it.
Okay.
In fact, we have many vibraniums.
Yes.
Right? Now, when you now say, okay, right, what do I want Africa to look like in 20, 30 years? I don't want it to look like Wakanda, because I know Africa better than Stan Lee. I want Africa to be a place where, we develop eco-friendly tech.
Okay.
We don't have to chart the same course that, you know, our forebears have, you know, charted, you know, the developed world. We don't have to chart that same course. We can actually look at everything now and say, okay, right, you know what? We can do things differently. And that's the beauty of technology. You can write your code this way, or you can write your code that way.
Okay.
And it will do what you want it to do.
Okay.
Code is command. You command lines and you say, do this, do this, do this. And it will do it in the way you want it.
Okay.
Let's develop green tech. Let us be a leader in sustainable energy.
Yeah.
Let us be a leader in human development, human capital development. Let us be an environment champion. Let us be a safer community. Let us be a healthy community. Let us get rid of all these hoodoos and all these silly things that, you know, we burden ourselves with, and live healthy lifestyles. We already have everything. We have the food, we have everything. We don't have to import food, for example. Luckily for us, we don't have to import food. We don't have to import water. We don't yet. We are importing food, and we're importing water, and we're importing toothpick, and we're importing. In fact, let's not even go into it. I heard the other day that Nigeria now imports bitter leaf from Cameroon. It is not even a joke. It is not even a joke. Nigeria imports bitter leaf now from Cameroon. Who would have thought, right? So we can build the Africa of our choice, not the Africa that Europe wants Africa to be. We should stop pursuing Europe. We should stop. Europe is matured. Europe has done, they've run their race. We can build everything from scratch.
Yeah.
And build it in a way.
I agree. I agree with you.
Yeah.
See, I agree with you. And that's my goal, that we can do all that. And it starts with one thing: education, 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 education. That's it.
Absolutely. I mean,
okay, that's it.
There's nothing that we are going to achieve without education. Even as, I mean, look at the whole blockchain industry now, as we spoke about it.
Yeah.
The biggest side of blockchain is education.
Yeah, that's it.
There's no cryptocurrency platform that doesn't have an education side to it, because you have to learn how to use it. You have to learn so many things. You know, you have to educate yourself.
Yeah.
So we have to do that.
And that's where we are still so behind.
Absolutely.
In education in Africa. Okay.
Our investment in
we have a very low literacy rate, and then when it comes to science, see, we can copy all this technology, but if we want to build things for ourselves, we need to go back to basic Absolutely. Science, basic mathematics, basic physics.
Go back to your everything and start re-engineering everything.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah. Otherwise, you will continue importing things. Okay? Yeah. So absolutely. That's it. Absolutely. Anyway, it's been a very, very interesting discussion. You know, I'm still scratching my head about crypto. Anyway,
in 6 months, from today, you'll be singing the difference.
No, you continue teaching me, because
once you catch the bug, I know you will become one of the biggest.
Well, maybe. Mm-hmm. So thanks, man. Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure. I'm glad that we finally got around to it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, guys. Bye.
All right. Thanks, Ekene.